My cherished child, consider this. What if every ordeal you have navigated, every tear you have wept in solitude, every moment of perceived separation from me, was the very crucible that forged you for the reality that is now dawning? What if the seasons you interpreted as dead ends were not my denials, but my intricate architecture, building toward a pivot so momentous that the entire unseen dimension has held its breath in anticipation of this very instant? This convergence is no accident. Your arrival at this spiritual juncture was not a matter of fortune. A hallowed proclamation is resonating through the spiritual ether at this very second. A divine coordinate, plotted before your first breath, was designed to activate at this precise point in your timeline. And that proclamation has your name upon it. For so long, you were counseled by well-meaning voices to remain in a state of quiet waiting. They assured you that your moment would one day come. But what if I were to pull back the veil and reveal a difficult truth, that some who preach of a future blessing secretly prosper from your indefinite postponement? What if the entire framework that was constructed to keep you in a perpetual state of hope is about to be utterly dismantled by my sovereign and unchangeable word? As you absorb this message, the very spiritual climate around you is being transformed. Can you perceive it, my child? That potent current of energy you are sensing is not fear. It is the palpable feeling of activation. It is the sound of my angelic hosts moving into formation for you. Brace yourself, for I am about to disclose something that will fundamentally reshape your understanding of the journey I have ordained. I am keenly aware that you are here because your spirit recognizes the magnitude of this hour. What is about to be made known has been intentionally shielded from the many, held in reserve within the secret vault of my appointed timings. Those who appear to draw blessings to themselves with ease have long understood this principle. But today, that division is being erased. Your true and total journey forward does not commence when you believe you are prepared. It commences at the exact moment I declare you are. And I have just made that declaration. The pertinent question is not whether you are worthy of this reception. The question is, are you courageous enough to receive it, especially when it defies every rule the world has taught you about how favor is earned? Your divine proclamation is being sounded. The appointed hour has arrived. Your complete life journey begins today. What if everything you have been told about my timing was a system engineered to keep you in a cycle of endless anticipation? What if the very voices that advocated for your patience were, consciously or not, profiting from your continued struggle? What if I released a call so thunderous that it shatters every structure of delay, every plausible excuse, every well-reasoned argument for why your breakthrough has not yet manifested? The truth I am now imparting will irrevocably alter how you view the days ahead. I released the call, and only those whose hearts were tuned to it could hear it. There is a sound vibrating through the corridors of eternity this very second. A sacred point in time, fixed before the foundations of the world, has now been engaged. This is not a gentle suggestion to rouse you from sleep. This spiritual call smashes through decades of sorrow, severs the long years you spent wondering if I saw you, and pulverizes the lies that insisted you must simply wait a little longer. This summons is not vibrating in your physical ears. It is resonating in the marrow of your spirit. And if you are here in this moment, feeling that profound stirring in your soul, that electric current coursing through your being, that is the sound of your divine timing activating. For years, you have pleaded for confirmation. You have begged for a tangible sign. You cried out to me in the dark, asking, "When, my Lord? When is it my turn?" And each kind-hearted advisor offered the same refrain, "Just wait. Just be patient." They told you, patience is the key. But consider this. What if patience was a misinterpretation of the instruction for this specific hour? What if every delay was a counterfeit of my process, a mirage designed to keep you from the very provision I was preparing? What if your season of preparation is officially over and your season of reception has truly begun? Your season has just shifted. The grand celestial clock of the cosmos has just chimed at your precise coordinate. The divine countdown that has been running silently in the background of your existence has just reached zero. And the summons that is sounding is not a general call. It is your summons. Your name is inscribed upon it. Your breakthrough is tethered to it. Your entire destiny is anchored to it. Picture this with me, my beloved. In the vast expanse of the heavenly realm, there has been a great chronicle of destinies, a sacred ledger not marking minutes and hours, but the turning of ages in the lives of my children. And in that ledger, there was a specific entry marked for your elevation, your turning point, your transition from lack to more than enough. That ledger has just been opened to your page. The resulting sound is so powerful that it is shaking loose the very foundations of every limitation that has been erected in your life. It is fracturing the grip of generational patterns. It is forcing open doors that felt permanently sealed. It is dissolving every ceiling above you. But here is what separates this summons from every other spiritual encouragement you have ever received. This is not about inspiration. This is not about motivation. This is not about merely stirring your emotions for another season of disappointing hope. This is about manifestation. When this divine summons sounds, it does not just awaken your spirit. It activates your ordained path. It does not just stir your heart. It commands your circumstances to realign. It does not just inspire your faith. It initiates your receiving. The gates that have been barred to you have just received a command to open. The resources that have been stored in my heavenly treasury, with your name on them, have just been released from the vault. This is not a trial. This is your divine summons. Here is something of critical importance you must understand. Not everyone is capable of perceiving this summons. It is broadcast on a unique frequency. It resonates only with the spirits of those I have been meticulously preparing for this exact juncture in history. It lands only in the awareness of those who kept their hearts pure in the waiting, who held on to their integrity through the fire, who kept believing when their environment screamed at them to give up. If you can feel it, my beloved, if something is quickening deep inside you as you read this, if your spirit is leaping in recognition, if tears are forming because you know this is for you, then you are not merely prepared. You are being set into motion. This sound is emanating from my very throne, and it is calling you by name. Can you recognize my voice in this holy moment? Do you feel your God-given purpose agitating within you? Can you sense that every single thing you have endured, each tear, each trial, each season of feeling invisible, was nothing less than your training for this divine call? This is the sound of your waiting ending. This is the sound of your abundance beginning. This is me declaring your struggle is complete. Your complete life journey begins now. But what exactly happens after the summons sounds? What changes when I declare your waiting is finished? That is where this story expands into possibilities you never imagined. There comes a point, my child, when my divine patience with the delays you have faced is exhausted. What happens when I, the Almighty, gaze upon your situation and declare, enough? What is unleashed when my righteous indignation rises up against that which has hindered my beloved? At a critical juncture, something shifted in the unseen realm that has not happened in this way for generations. A stirring occurred within my eternal throne. The very atmosphere around my throne grew thick with holy indignation. Not an anger directed at you, my precious child, but an anger that rose like a tide on your behalf. My child, you must grasp this truth. There have been entities and forces actively working against you, seeking to keep you in bondage, profiting from your perpetual struggle. These were not random acts of misfortune. There are clandestine powers that feast on your discouragement, that are invested in you never stepping into the fullness of the life I designed for you. But I declare to you, my beloved, when I decide to personally intervene, when the Creator of all that is seen and unseen takes your case into his own hands, the entire game changes. The declaration that thundered forth was not simply for your ears. It was a formal edict served to every principality and power that has stood in your way. It was my official pronouncement. This cherished one of mine is now advancing, and nothing shall stand in their path. Listen with the ears of your spirit, because what I reveal now will have a profound effect on you. The trials you faced, the financial pressures, the relational alienation, the health battles you fought, the opposition that met you at every turn, none of it was by accident. It was all resistance. But even resistance must operate according to the spiritual laws I have established. And according to my divine statute of limitations, there is a maximum amount of time that which is rightfully yours can be unjustly withheld. That time limit has now expired. All that you thought was lost is now being restored to you with holy interest. Everything that was stolen is being returned in overflowing measure. Everything that was delayed is now being put on a supernatural timetable of acceleration by my direct command. But here is something truly extraordinary. That declaration did not just echo in the present. It reverberated across the spectrum of time, connecting your past, present, and future. The prayers prayed by your ancestors concerning your bloodline are now being answered in you. The faithful deeds of your forefathers are now yielding a harvest for you. The seeds sown in generations past are now coming to full fruit in your recompense. This is not just about your personal breakthrough. This is about a generational course correction. This is about elevating your entire family line from a story of survival to a legacy of thriving. Do you feel that shift taking place within your own being? That sensation is not nervousness. It is anticipation. Your spirit recognizes what your mind has not yet fully processed. You are not the same person you were moments ago. The spiritual DNA of your life has been resequenced. The trajectory of your future has been recalibrated. The very essence of your purpose has been newly defined. But I need you to understand something crucial about my timing. When I choose to move, I do not move incrementally. I do not introduce a breakthrough tentatively. I do not release my favor in small drops. When I decree that your appointed time has come, I move suddenly, concurrently, and supernaturally. The abundance that is about to manifest in your life will not trickle in. It will surge in with the force of a tsunami breaking through a dam. The favor that is about to descend upon you will not accumulate slowly. It will blanket you instantly, like a sudden storm cloud in a barren sky. And those who have stood against you are about to receive a lesson in why you do not hinder one who has my specific attention. Every door they conspired to shut is about to be blown off its hinges. Every connection they tried to sever is about to be re-established with unbreakable bonds. Every opportunity they stole is about to be returned with a sevenfold blessing attached. This is your moment of divine intervention, my beloved. Not a season of despair, but a season of my personal involvement. Just as I moved for my people at the Red Sea, when my time comes for you, impossibilities will shatter, ways will be made, and your freedom will arrive with power. But here is what will truly astound you. The declaration was only the beginning. What follows is a series of events that will completely rewrite your reality. Consider for a moment why the warfare began before you even knew your own name. Why did the pain find you before the promise? Why did the adversary target you when you were still innocent, still hopeful, still assuming the world was a safe place? The answer will redefine how you view your entire existence. You were not attacked because of your vulnerability. You were attacked because of your destiny. A secret war has been waged over your life since before you took your first breath. Right now, in the unseen world, there are two primary theaters of operation. In one, the kingdom of darkness strategizes against you. In the other, my kingdom of light is preparing your coronation. Both sides are aware of a truth about you that you are only just beginning to grasp. Your life carries a calling so significant that hell itself trembles when your name is mentioned. Let me unveil something to you that will sober your mind and elevate your spirit. In the eternal realms, there is a divine manuscript, an account that bears your name. Inscribed within it are realities that predate the foundation of the world. There are spiritual covenants, promises made to your bloodline, and heavenly provisions that were allocated for you before the stars were named. These are not mere wishes or hopes. These are your divine inheritance, your birthright secured by heavenly decree. But this is precisely where the conflict began. The moment your destiny was sealed in that heavenly account, the adversary launched his preemptive strike. He read the scroll of your life. He saw the promises attached to your name. He witnessed the abundance, the influence, the impact that was destined to flow through you. And he was terrified. Before you could even form a word, I had already spoken your future, a future of purpose and abundance by my design. That is why the trials came so early. That is why your childhood was harder than it should have been. That is why you experienced rejection before you even knew what it meant to be accepted. The enemy was not reacting to who you were then. He was reacting in terror to who you were always destined to become. Think about it, my precious one. Why would the forces of darkness waste their resources targeting a life of no consequence? Why would they focus their attention on someone who posed no threat to their agenda? You entered this world with a promise woven into your very DNA. You were born carrying a capacity that your mind could not yet comprehend, but that the spiritual realm recognized instantly. Every tear of confusion, every night you spent wondering why you felt so different, so out of place, that was not isolation, that was opposition. And opposition only shows up when there is something of immense value to contend for. Your struggles were the evidence of your calling. Imagine this, my child. On the enemy's strategic map, there is a marker over your life labeled High Priority Threat. My affection for you is not a result of your performance, my child, but a declaration of your future. It's not about who you are, but who I am making you to be. As you began your journey toward your purpose, your adversaries watched your every setback, celebrated your small defeats, interfered with your relationships, and threw up roadblocks on your path. They did this because they knew that the moment you truly awakened to your identity in me, their power over your ordained position would be utterly broken. But here is a truth that may startle you, my beloved. Even as the enemy worked overtime to dismantle you, I was quietly using his efforts to build you. The detours that caused you such grief were my divine redirections, steering you away from hidden pitfalls. The blessings that came slowly, which tested your faith malady of the core, were my perfect timing, ensuring your character was ready for the weight of the glory I was preparing. The very wounds intended to break your spirit instead forged in you an unshakable resilience. The pain sent to make you bitter instead cultivated a deep well of compassion. The loneliness designed to isolate you instead drove you into an intimacy with me that your next season of blessing will absolutely require. You survived what was engineered to destroy you. You are still standing on ground that was meant to be your grave. You still have faith after betrayals that were designed to annihilate your trust. This is not happenstance, my child. This is my divine preservation. This is your birthright beginning to manifest, even before you were aware you had won. Both heaven and hell recognized your potential, but only hell was threatened by it. Darkness is afraid of you because it knows that your emergence will set off a chain reaction of holy fire. Your provision will fund my purposes. Your voice will awaken a generation. Your testimony will expose the very lies they have used to keep my people small and defeated. That is why they fought so relentlessly to keep you down. That is why the resistance intensified. Kajdri, you got closer to your breakthrough. That is why the fog of confusion was thickest just before the dawn of your understanding. But their greatest fear is now being realized. You are waking up. You are remembering. You are beginning to lay claim to the very inheritance they have worked so hard to keep from you. The challenge persists, my child, but the final result is assured. The plans for what belongs to you are already finalized in the unseen realm. The handing over of your blessing is already agreed upon. The question that remains is whether you will bravely accept what is already set aside for you. The conflict over what is rightfully yours is reaching its peak. But what brought this intense period about? One moment shifted things, and it started when you felt alone and overlooked by me. What if I told you, my precious child, that the precise moment you felt completely unseen was the very time I turned my full attention toward elevating you? What if that single decision to obey my quiet guidance that you made in secret, the one you have forgotten about, the one that felt small and unimportant, was actually the very thing that opened the door to bringing you toward a place of abundance? What if everything now coming to you began with an action so minor you believed it held no significance? You forgot the moment, but I remembered. Right now, my child, I need you to recall not your triumphs, not the times of great joy or clear presence, but the unseen times, the unnoticed acts of relinquishing something. Remember when you followed what I asked, even when you felt profound sadness, even when you felt completely depleted, even when you knew no other person would ever see what you did. Remember when you let go of hurt towards someone who spoke ill of you, when you chose to offer kindness to someone who wished you harm, when you spoke to me about a relative who had dismissed you, when you assisted someone you didn't know who could offer nothing in return. You thought those times were only shared between us. My child, you thought they vanished into time. Small unrecorded details of a life you felt didn't matter much. But it is noted every quiet moment of trust and loyalty. I do more than just witness what is hidden. I answer in the unseen. I act in the quiet places. I arrange things behind the scenes. And that small choice of faith, that moment of deep commitment to follow when nobody else was looking, that is when my watchful attention became focused on you. That quiet choice, unseen by others, began a work in the spiritual realm. But here is what will truly surprise you, my cherished child. While you remained faithful in obscurity, another person was also taking note, not just me. A person with resources was taking notice. Someone with the ability to alter your situation was being prompted by your devotion. You see, the unseen world and the world you see are linked more closely than many understand. When you follow my leading, it sends out an effect, an influence that goes beyond what you can perceive, reaching places and people far away. That moment you gave generously when it cost you greatly, it sent ripples into the unseen. That time you truly let go of a deep wrong, it sent out influence. That time you chose trust instead of fear, it began a sequence of happenings that would eventually connect with someone who had the ability and position to bring about a complete change in your circumstances. The one with resources who is soon to connect with you, bringing in opportunity that will completely change your direction. They were not randomly selected. I placed them there for a specific reason. You are following my way in the unseen, created such a stirring in the unseen world that it drew their notice in the physical world. Think about it, my child. Have you ever felt prompted to assist someone and you couldn't explain why? Have you ever felt driven to contribute to a cause, to support someone, to create opportunities for someone you barely knew? That wasn't just simple human goodness. That was my divine ordering responding to someone else's quiet faithfulness to me. Right now, my precious one, that same arrangement is now working on your behalf. Someone somewhere is being prompted to favor you, to lift you up, to bring you to a new place. And they cannot fully explain why. But I know the reason. The reason is that very moment you believed. When unnoticed, you thought nobody saw that quiet plea you made while alone speaking to me about your lack. But that is when the decision was made for your change of place. You thought nobody saw when you chose to focus on me instead of your fears. When you gave thanks instead of giving way to alarm. When you relied on me instead of shaking with fear. But that is when things began to shift for your benefit. Every small choice of faith is a message to me. Each instance of quietly walking with me is a request for my support. Every time you release something without anyone witnessing it is like placing something precious into my care, assured it will bring forth good when the moment is perfect. And that perfect moment is now. Someone with resources will soon approach you. Someone who will offer you something that will alter everything. They won't fully grasp their own impulse to assist you, but I understand completely why I have been preparing this connection for you since those times you felt completely unnoticed. Because you stayed true to me when no one was watching. You are now finding open favor. Walking my path away from public view has caused provision to become visible to everyone. My child, the things you did in secret, done without seeking attention, have made ready a season of abundance I have planned for you. Bring to mind now, my child, one small action you took that felt invisible. Perhaps a quiet prayer, a hidden kindness, a moment of grace extended. Know this. I saw it. I hold it in my memory. And it held profound significance for me. That seemingly minor deed was weighty in my eyes, initiating a shift in your situation. Consider this. What if the paths that closed off were not proof you were unwelcome, but evidence I was leading you somewhere else entirely? And what if those who departed were not leaving you behind, but making room for something magnificent? I was getting ready for you, something too vast for the places you used to inhabit. I declare to you now, I have already begun a transition on your behalf. You sense it, don't you, my beloved? An inner stirring, a rising discomfort. With your current state, a feeling that familiar places no longer suit you. Perhaps you believed you were being troublesome, unthankful, or hard to satisfy. But I assure you, this sensation is not a flaw within you. It is my touch directing you toward a fresh way. This sacred motion has commenced. I am causing you to move, not merely your physical spot, though that may follow. I am changing you in your inner self, your affections, your provisions, and your relationships. I am relocating your entire being from a state of mere survival to a place where you are intended to thrive. Listen closely, my child. You are not becoming unstable. You are simply becoming unwilling to settle for anything that does not align with the direction I am taking you. The tasks that feel burdensome now, that is not fatigue. That is your deeper self exceeding its present environment. The connections that deplete you, that is not you being problematic. That is my discernment revealing what no longer aids your genuine calling. The familiar settings that now feel disking. That is not a lack of thankfulness. That is your soul sensing that the foundation you stand upon cannot sustain the development I planned for you. I am raising you up from your present spot, not to cause you hurt, but to settle you in surroundings of deep nourishment, where the time of plenty I have for you can truly establish itself. This is not happening by accident. This is orchestrated by the very power that directed people long ago to their designated positions and callings. You are not being dispersed. You are being positioned with deliberate design. The one who stands against you believed he was stifling you when he created hardships, blocked routes, and made things unpleasant to make you wish to depart. But what he meant for ill I have transformed for your benefit. While he attempted to suppress you, I was already making ready your path ahead. Understand this truth he wishes you wouldn't perceive. Every location that appeared to turn you away was in fact safeguarding you from accepting anything less than what is finest from me for you. Every opportunity that did not succeed was me sealing a minor entrance to reveal a far grander one. Every individual who left was me making clear the path for relationships I have selected to alter your existence. The disco you sense is not bewilderment, my child. It is validation. Your inner being perceives a change approaching before your intellect fully comprehends. Your soul readies itself before your outward conditions alter. And grasp this vital reality, my precious child. This transition is not solely about the endpoint. It is about the being you are evolving into throughout the journey. The passage itself is reshaping you. The very process of being relocated is freeing you from every constraint that has confined you. Where you were before, perhaps you were recognized for your difficulties, for not entirely succeeding, for being sufficient but not viewed as remarkable. But in this new setting, you will be seen for your true self. One who bears my supply, one who brings forth advancement, one who moves in my exceptional grace. The places you have left taught you to limit your thoughts, anticipate little, and be satisfied with fragments. But your new environment will expand. Your ability to take in, to look for great things, to move in the entirety of what I have bestowed upon you. However, you must get ready, my child. This sacred transition needs your readiness. Make room, not only in your dwelling, but in your mind and your inner self. Release past pains, aspirations that have faded, and convictions that restrict you. Ready your heart for fresh passages. Be prepared to cross limits you never envisioned, to enter locations you never believed attainable. Loosen your grip on what is known. Cease attempting to bring back circumstances that are over. Stop pleading with entrances that are shut. I'm guiding you towards something so superior that you will question why you ever held on to what is gone. Your inner sense of direction has been refreshed with the path leading to a state of overflow, impact, and command. But this is beyond a mere change of location. This new setting I am bringing you into will stir something that dwells within you already, something that has awaited the proper circumstances to bloom. What if I revealed that every resource you chased, every material gift you asked for, every advancement you looked for outside yourself was in fact diverting you from the genuine richness that is already integral to your nature? What if wealth felt hard to grasp not because you lacked worth, but because you were pursuing something you inherently embody? Your genuinely rich existence does not begin with a sum in a ledger. It begins at the heart of what you hold to be true about yourself and about me. Get ready for an understanding that will alter everything you believed about real prosperity and what it signifies to be wealthy. In my view, your abundant life commences not in your holdings, but in the fundamental nature of your conviction. You lacked the words to describe the discomfort you experienced in settings that appeared ordinary to others. You could not articulate the things you sensed that others could not detect. And because of this, you doubted yourself. But observe yourself now, my cherished one, more resilient, more certain, more harmonized. You have developed into the very endowment I set within you. And now the very keenness you once attempted to conceal is the evidence of your calling. The way you feel things so strongly, my child, how you notice what others miss. That wasn't an accident. I put that within you. I made you to sense subtle shifts, to see what others overlook. This often brought you pain because you wanted things to be easy. Yet you now understand that what you wished to be rid of was the very work I assigned to you. You don't need to explain yourself for feeling things deeply anymore, my beloved one. Your tears don't need a reason you can put into words. Don't hide the depth of what's inside you. This is a special part of you. It shows the weight I knew you were strong enough to hold. When others don't see, you do. When they pull away, you feel. When they back down, you stay steady. You carry the heaviness of hard moments until they pass. You hold the worries of others until they find peace. You absorb the strain in situations until things calm. None of this was meant to hurt you. It was making you ready. That burning feeling you used to run from. It's where your prayers now come from. The weight that confused you now gives power to your prayers for others. You've become the person you worried you might find. Someone who doesn't just get through hard things, but handles them with my strength. You aren't weighed down anymore, my child. You are ready. This way you are isn't a bad thing, or something wrong, or too much. It's what makes you different. What I see in you. Now it's truly starting to work as it was meant to. Others have come against you, missed who you are, misunderstood. You, my precious one. But you keep rising. You keep standing firm. You keep showing up with a quiet strength inside that won't be quieted. Something has been decided that cannot be changed. Nothing meant to hurt you can find you. Right now, the one who stands against you tried again and again to reach you using distractions, obstacles, and old ways you used to be. But I have hidden you. What used to get to you now goes back where it came from. What used to make you react stops before it even touches you. This isn't because you ran away from hard times. It's because I have given you a new shield built on surrender made pure through difficulty and marked by my very presence. While you were quiet, a strong response was heard where you couldn't see. While you held back your words, a firm protection was put in place. While you brought your pain to me in prayer, I moved on your behalf. Now, my beloved, the darkness cannot see you. The way you used to shine, which drew attack, has changed. You have come up higher. And from this higher place, your enemy cannot find you. There is deep strength in being hidden by me. It's not that difficulties disappear. It's that they can no longer locate where you stand. The way you speak with me is now on a different level. You can see truth more clearly now. Your path is hidden within the safety of being with me. You aren't just watched over, my cherished one. You are out of reach. This is why old troubles can't bother you anymore. Why the things that used to make you feel safe don't satisfy you now. Why the ways you used to go are now closed off. It's not just that you walked away from them. It's that they can no longer get to you. I have brought you to a place where only being close to me lets anything in. What you used to fight against with your own effort now just melts away in the unseen world. What used to make you react strongly now just disappears when you stay peaceful. Things meant to hurt you might be made, but they won't hit you. Attacks might be sent, but they are stopped where you cannot see. This is the reality of being recognized as belonging to me. You are standing in a new way now, my child. Not in where you are physically, but in your spirit. The person you used to be isn't in this place anymore. The one who worried, the one who was bothered, the one who reacted quickly, that old self is at peace now. Now in its place stands someone who sees clearly, who understands deeply, and who moves with the calm control that comes from me. Yes, you still see hard things. Yes, you still witness confusion, but they cannot affect you the way they used to. That's how you know you've come up higher. Not because there are no more struggles, but because you gain victory without needing to fight them yourself. In this moment, your quiet presence carries more weight than anything you could say. Just being yourself carries more weight than anything you could do to defend yourself. You don't need to explain why you are the way you are. You just show up and the place around you shifts. You have become a quiet strength that brings change, a place where my presence lives. And the one against you has no response to this. So let them wonder, my beloved child. Let them be confused. Let them try to figure you out. They won't be able to, because where I am taking you, even the way there is hidden, this new way of being isn't noisy or chaotic. It's about knowing your way, acting with precision, moving with clear intention, and finding rest and stillness. I am showing you how to lead in the unseen world, not just reacting, not rushing, not worrying, but certain, stable, and speaking what is true from me. You are growing into the person your enemy hoped you would never become, the one they cannot shake, cannot find, cannot disturb. You have moved beyond the reach of past struggles. And now, my child, your purpose is to live in this place and stay there. This means you need to explain yourself less and just be present more. You need to protect yourself less and see things more clearly. No more making yourself smaller to fit into places you've outgrown. No more asking for others to accept you when they aren't meant to walk this path with you. Only moving ahead. Only staying close to me. Only living in a strength that cannot be copied because it was formed through deep trial. You've felt this change, haven't you, my precious one? That quiet you don't recognize, that deeper peace, that feeling of being separate from the chaos, that sure knowing inside that this fight isn't yours to carry. That's not you not caring. That's you being protected. Those who thought they knew you fully will look for the person you used to be and won't find them. That version of you is gone. What stands now is someone marked by me, hidden in my purpose, moving forward quietly and showing up with strength. Let this truth settle deep inside you, my child. They cannot find you. They cannot stop you. They cannot push you aside. Everything that tried to hold you back, every delay, every distraction, every challenge has come to its end. The very last thing trying to stop you has just disappeared. What felt stuck is now moving. What was closed off can now be reached. What was held back has now been given to you. You are here right now in the time you hoped for, even when you couldn't find the words for what you needed. Some things were held back. This wasn't because you weren't ready inside, but because the world around you wasn't aligned yet. A state of readiness was being built, not only within you, my child, but also for the place I planned for you to be. Certain conversations were delayed, opportunities were put on hold, and connections were kept from you. This wasn't to cause you pain, but to protect the way I had laid out for you. Now, my precious child, that heavy feeling is gone. You have felt it deep within your spirit. That clear sense of understanding, the absence of the resistance you once faced. The entrances that were hard to push open now stand wide and easy to enter. This isn't random luck. It is me giving the sign. Things in my unseen world have shifted, and what was blocked before must now move aside. I have opened a clear way ahead for you that no one can shut, and nothing from your past, your mistakes, your fears, or what others think of you can stop this. This isn't just me telling you things are okay, my child. It's me releasing my strength for you. You paid a price when no one was watching. You held strong through the difficulty. You showed your strength by waiting, by letting me shape you, and by staying quiet when you wanted to speak. You stayed true to me even when no one saw. And now the wall is gone. The time for waiting is over. Being ready all the time is now turning into things actually happening. But it won't look exactly how you thought it would. This clear way won't be announced loudly. It won't demand you notice it. It will just quietly invite you forward. A quiet nudge, me placing you correctly, my gentle voice guiding you. A connection that will only make sense once you see the full picture. Big changes in life don't usually come with trumpets, my child. They often show up quietly as a simple chance to take a step. This is why it's so important now to know how to feel my guidance. When the waiting stops, you might feel like rushing or proving something to others. But my beloved child, you don't need to prove anything more. This isn't a time for forcing things. It's a time for receiving what I give you. You aren't chasing things wildly anymore. You are choosing your steps carefully. You aren't begging for what you need. You are moving because of my favor on you. This time isn't for looking everywhere. It's for taking good care of what I put in your hands. The door you wanted is open now. The time of being held back is over. Now, my child, the question is whether you will care for this blessing with the same carefulness you practiced during the hard times. How you care for these new chances will show how long they stay open for you. The stop wasn't just to make you jump ahead. It was to make sure you could move forward steadily. What begins now isn't just one thing. It's a flow that keeps going. In this flow, you will need to see things clearly, be completely honest, and act dependably. Remember that the waiting time had a reason for you. I never forgot you. I was making you stronger. The strength inside you that you will use now grew during that time. You were made able to hold more so you could take hold of what is coming to you now. Don't be surprised if things happen quickly now. Something you asked me for over a long time might show up fast. When the unseen resistance is gone, things don't just drip, they flow out fully. But this time, my beloved, you are ready. You won't get lost trying to keep up with how fast things move. You won't mess up the good things you finally have. You won't go back to the old ways that trapped you before. The person you are now isn't pushed by wanting things. You are steady because of what you have lived through with me. You don't just react to things. You stand strong. You are not afraid. I am with you. There is a way I want you to walk now, my cherished one. Not rushing, not holding back, but walking alongside me. You will see the reason for each step you take when you look back later. Every choice you make will open up more chances. Every yes you say will matter.